ESPN's NFL insider Jeremy Fowler has provided an update on Rashee Rice and a potential suspension timeline. We're going to dive into that right off the top here. Welcome into the Chiefs Report. I am Harrison Graham, and Fowler seems to think that Rice could be available for the entire 2024 season, which, hey, you're trying to repeat for a third straight year as Super Bowl champs. Having your top receiver would certainly help you do that. Before we dive further into this story, listen, our July record for likes last year on a single video was 605. We're trying to top that today. 606, that's not a crazy number. Help us get there. Hit the like button. Let's grow from last year's record here on the Chiefs Report. So Jeremy Fowler with the report having that news that Rashee Rice may be available, and that's huge. Like, there's a chance that Rice is available this entire season, and he pointed to an Alvin Kamara example as a potential kind of prior example of why that could be the case. We'll get to that in a second. Here's more from Fowler, direct quotes. He says, "This is a lengthy legal process, which means he could start the season, actually play games, or finish the whole year because the league likes to see the full scope of things before they make a decision on how many games a player might face. We saw that with Alvin Kamara a couple of years ago when he had his battery charges. He played the whole next year, then was suspended for the next year, I think 3 games. So that is a possibility that the Chiefs are bracing for here. They just don't know. And here's kind of the Kamara suspension timeline. If you remember, during the Pro Bowl weekend, he had that fight in Las Vegas. Everybody was like, he's going to get suspended, going to be suspended. Then he played the whole next season because the legal process went an entire year. And then he pled no contest basically a year and a half later before receiving a 3-game suspension last year, despite the incident being early in 2022. Now you look at where Rashee Rice's timeline is, had the car incident in late March, turned himself in, got released, and his court date isn't until December. So if the NFL sticks to their timeline, and assuming there's not some sort of resolution before that December court date, they're going to let this play out, and you might not see a suspension come until next season. This could drag out until 2025, and I believe, and I'd have to double check this, I think the Chiefs are actually familiar with this. Frank Clark had a illegal gun incident in California, and I think his deal got pushed back an entire season. So the NFL does not like to jump ahead of the legal process, and why would they? Because I think they've learned from prior lessons, like Zeke Elliott, they suspended 6 games, then he never gets charged, right? So, like, they kind of let these things play out more often than not. Now, what you don't want is that court date in December, a resolution that date, and then he gets suspended late in the year this year. That is the kind of one, like, I hope that doesn't happen. But at this point, it seems more likely than not this could drag into 2025. I still think he'll get suspended. It just doesn't seem like it's going to be this year, which that's good news for the Chiefs in the short term. So how many games do you think Rice will play this season, 17-game season? If there's no injuries, you think he's playing all 17? I'm starting to think that could be the case here with that court date being set for December. What say you? Let us know in the comment section down below. If he is available, that is just massive because we saw the second half of last season him emerge as really for a good chunk Mahomes' top target. Now that reverted back to Travis Kelce in the playoffs, and obviously Kelce is still a very, very good player as well. But if Rice and Kelce are both at the top of their game, and then you've got new additions as well, Marquise Brown, Xavier Worthy, we'll get to Worthy in a second, that's just a big difference. Whereas if Rice is suspended 4, 6, 8 games, obviously that wide receiver room isn't nearly as good. And again, other than Puka Nacua, this was arguably the best rookie receiver last year. Jordan Addison was behind him as a first-round pick. Zay Flowers, Jackson Smith-Njigba, other first-round pick, not even on this screen. He was below these guys. So they found Rashee Rice late in the second round. He has been a really good fit. It's just a matter of if he can keep the main thing, focus on football, and keep the off-field incidents to nil moving forward. Now, I mentioned Xavier Worthy as well. As you look at this Chiefs wide receiver depth chart, obviously if Rice is there, it kind of helps this whole room be well-rounded with a lot of guys there below competing for roles on this team after Rice, Brown, and likely Worthy, who should be this number 3 receiver. And speaking of which, is Xavier Worthy going to be an all-rookie team? One outlet seems to believe that is going to be the case. So we'll talk about that here in a second. but hit the like button. Like we said, trying to set a record in a July video for 2024. 605, I believe, the record from last year. Let's get to 606 or more. If you want the Chiefs to three-peat, hit that thumbs up icon. Let's make it happen. All right. Xavier Worthy, NFL Network's Chad Reuter has Worthy as the number 2 receiver on his all-rookie team, which sounds a little out there, but when you consider the Chiefs' wide receiver room, even with Rashee Rice, has some questions, opportunities are going to be there for him to put up some big numbers potentially. Here's more from Reuter. He says, quote, "The union between the Chiefs and Worthy represented one of the draft's best marriages of skill and a team's needs. His ability to run past defenders and make moves after the catch will get him on Patrick Mahomes' radar early in the season. Rashee Rice's off-field issues could lead to opportunities for Worthy, as could any inconsistency shown by veterans Marquise Hollywood Brown and McCole Hardman. Worthy could also earn a spot on the all-rookie squad as a kick returner." Now, obviously, we just mentioned with Rice, hopefully he doesn't get suspended at all, but if he does, to Reuter's point, that's only going to create more opportunities. This is who he had as his skill players all-rookie team heading into the season. Marvin Harrison Jr. being the top receiver with Worthy as the second one, which this is a strong receiver class, man. You got Rome Odunze, you got Malik Neighbors. Like, if Worthy was an all-rookie player, that means he's probably clearing 1,000 yards. That would lead one to believe that he would surpass Marquise Brown early in the year, which I think is possible, but I also am pretty bullish on Marquise Brown balling out in this offense. He had a strong offseason while Worthy missed some time with a hamstring issue, so keep that in mind. They don't have to force Worthy into heavy action early since they have Marquise Brown, but make no mistake, this guy is arguably the fastest player in the league and can take the top off the defense. And what's been the chatter out of spring? We want to bring the deep ball back into the offense. That's direct quote from Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. So Xavier Worthy certainly is capable of helping you do just that. Now you look at the receivers that went in the first round. I mean, I think after those top 3, Worthy probably has the best chance of being an all-rookie guy. Brian Thomas is a good player, but that's a crowded wide receiver room in Jacksonville. Ricky Pearsall, unless Ayuk gets traded, I mean, he's behind Debo and Brandon Ayuk. Xavier Legette might be their best receiver, but Carolina's a mess. So after MHJ, Malik Neighbors, and Rome Odunze, I mean, Xavier Worthy's in a great situation and fits in very well with what the Chiefs are trying to accomplish offensively. So I wouldn't completely rule out the possibility of him pushing to be an all-rookie caliber player this year. Which wide receiver do you guys think will have the best rookie season? It's probably a chalk play. I do like the Marvin Harrison Jr. fit with Kyler Murray. Guy who could stretch the field, win on the outside. Kyler likes to throw to the perimeter a lot, so he's going to get force-fed. I do like that one. Neighbors as well. If the Giants' QB play isn't terrible, he's clearly their top receiver from day one. So I would lean one of those two. But again, Xavier Worthy, I think, has a chance to maybe not get the volume stats some of these guys do, but you look at his college numbers from last year at Texas, his 13.5 average, I think he could clear 15, 16 yards because a lot of his targets are going to be downfield. Like, I think that's pretty safe to say. And again, with his yak ability too, to make people miss in space, he's going to turn, little screens, slants, bubbles into 10-plus explosives. So I'm pretty excited about that as well. Again, I do think it's a possibility. Like, do I think Rome Odunze is a better player? Yeah, I do, but he's also behind DJ Moore and Keenan Allen. Do I think Malik Neighbors is a better player? Yeah, but he's catching passes from Daniel Jones. So, like, Xavier Worthy's in a great situation with opportunities as well, playing with the best quarterback in the league in Patrick Mahomes. So that is going to give him a chance to have early success, assuming he's on the field healthy and proving his worth early on in the year. We'll set an over-under at 800 yards for Xavier Worthy. And it's lofty. If he hit 800, I'd be pretty amped. Type O for over or U for under. How do you guys think Xavier Worthy will do this season? Let us know in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We continue to plug out daily videos here on the Chiefs Report, so you don't want to miss out on that. My name's Harrison Graham. We'll see you guys soon. Peace.